Gentlemen, welcome back to Mechcast Reacts Death Battle. Today we're watching Cole McGrath versus Alex Mercer, a rivalry that is quite literally over a decade in the making now.
It's
all I know about Alex Mercer are a couple sanity.
Hang on. And so, because we do have 8 people here, we're going to have to enforce a few more rules than normal. This is one thing.
Fight Club.
Yes, first rule, we don't talk about Fight Club. Second, we don't stream this live on Twitch.
Except we do.
Anyways,
what about daily?
So we are going to try.
Alive, you piece of shit!
We are
complications, motherfucker.
We are going to keep ourselves. We are going to keep ourselves to a minimum of commentary. As in, like, each person is going to try to be as quick as possible with their comments during the analysis, and then we can go wild afterwards, so that we just don't wind up with a chaotic mess like we usually have. Because we wind up missing a lot of stuff. People have pointed out. But from left to right on the stream here today, we have Gizmo Hibiki. Say hello, Gizmo.
Don't tell me what to do. Also, hello.
Okay, bye.
All right, Rainbow Dash, aka Jedi Bender, making us reliably 20% cooler in 15 seconds flat.
Hey, Jedi, when did you turn into a pony?
Say that. I would not say that at all.
Listen, Rainbow Dash is best girl. You can't, don't at me.
Alex, you cannot look at the pony and say, "Oh, fuck that." All right.
Fluttershy.
No, Fluttershy is the best.
You make a compelling argument, Gizmo. Ben, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm the reason why we're watching this, and we're not supposed to stream it, but someone decided to anyways.
I'm Alex.
It's fine.
I'm Alex. I'm hosting this. I'm hosting this show today. Hey, Magnetic Ferret, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Again. IKA on Magnetic Ferret, running a writer's challenge right now. If you guys want to go there, get $100. Yeah, do it. Do the thing.
All right.
I have a question.
And then we have a bloody. Then we have a bloody clown. Introduce yourself, bloody clown. I believe you're RGS.
Piece of shit, Drill. I mean, hi, I'm RGS.
I'm pretty sure that's payday.
Tell me, is it simple to kill the Batman? Is it simple to kill the Batman, RGS?
Well, if you're good at something, Alex, you never do it for free.
Oh, thank you.
How about you one?
And then we have Sonic30655. I only had to mouse over the screen here briefly. Hey, say hello.
Hello, I'm the unpaid intern.
We're all the unpaid interns, Sonic. I haven't made a single dollar off of this, and indeed,
last time I checked, none of us were named Jocelyn.
And indeed, unfortunately, have lost at least $10 watching movies I hate.
Also, never make me write about Gilgamesh ever again.
We've lost more money on this channel than gained so far.
We don't talk about Fight Club, Sonic. And then we have Kevin. Say hello, Kevin.
Meow.
That's hello and cat. That's hello and cat. So, today we're watching a matchup that is quite literally over a decade in the making. I remember that we had, there were all kinds of questions flying back and forth back when Infamous and Prototype first released, Infamous 1 and 2 and Prototype 1 and 2. And we still haven't...
Alex,
hang on, let me
chime in with something. So there's only one thing I know about Prototype, and it's a couple sanity not included skits, including this one.
Yes.
My name is Alex, and I have a terrible curse. Between the 6th and 12th of every month, I turn into a woman. On her period.
I remember the one. I remember the one where Alex grabs for a second.
Yeah, and so we'll probably get into this while the video plays, but I just wanted to give us a brief introduction here because this is a legendary matchup. People have been asking Death Battle for this for years. There was
Yahtzee Croshaw.
hang on. I'm gonna finish my thought before I let anybody else talk here, because I'm gonna lose my train. Yahtzee Croshaw actually ran a little versus thing on his channel. Well, his series Zero Punctuation back in the day, where he reviewed Infamous and Prototype as a bit of a double bill. Kind of
Awesome.
trying to figure out which one was cooler, which one was better, and he ended the video by saying to the developers of both games that whoever won would be the one who sent him the best picture of the other's protagonist wearing a woman's bra. And they went all out, like they had like full on like Rocky Horror Picture Show, drag style cross dressing. Alex, yeah, it was
hilarious.
It was fucking hilarious. It was amazing back in the day, and I'm happy to see this little rivalry.
Wonder if they'll
as it
reference
were.
it.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm happy to see this little rivalry here as come to some kind of fruition here. So we're going to.
Can I give my quick take real quick before we start? Because
Yeah.
I remember when Rainbow Dash vs. Starstream came out, this was still, like, even to this very day, was one of the most requested matchups Deathbound has ever had. This was before I was aware of Infamous, too. So it was always such a larger-than-life matchup to Deathbound. The one main reason they never did it was because of how technical it was. There's a lot of things that would have to go into the fight.
They didn't have the tech back then to create a fight like that.
Yeah, and it was always, even when they had the tech, it was always very intimidating fight because there's so much going for it and how much fans there are. So when fans finally voted on it, they have to do it, and I'm excited to see what they did. I'm hearing the episode's great, but we'll see. I'm excited. So you guys ready?
Oh yeah,
dude, you know what would make this better if it was live action.
Put it on.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
I don't think they
no.
No.
Yeah, and we're
and Shady
Think they
Red.
reference
it's no scams! No
How do you think
scams!
Nelson-
We win!
Cole McGrath.
Yeah.
Patron saint of Infamous. Alex Mercer.
I hate that new logo for Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, it's really
It looks like
stupid.
a fast food restaurant logo.
Oh yeah, that's from the motion comic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, that's a scene from Infamous too.
Oh, that's from.
Wait, what did it say?
That's
I thought that was-
That's from the game.
Oh, I thought there was a comic book that they made into a
I'm
motion
trying to
comic.
listen to what he's saying.
No.
Never let him hear.
Oh God, get off the screen. Oh hi, Sai.
Oh god.
I don't like that.
2013 was a weird year.
That was a
Oh,
stupid
3D.
joke.
Oh, that looks really pretty good.
Oh, this
Yeah.
looks good. I can't wait. Let's watch.
Spooderman.
Yep.
Subtitles.
Yep.
And he became a mutant.
Destroyed much of the city and tore through Cole at the atomic level, killing him instantly.
Cole's story changes based on the player's choices. For this matchup, we're focusing on the canonical good Cole called it, while alternatively exploring the possible effects of evil Cole, Gizmo
Oh,
called
there
it.
you go.
Okay,
then.
that makes sense.
The no beast cold then.
I'm Nostradamus.
I am Nostradamus.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get the no beast cold then.
And Cole was in the dead center.
Read Bram Stoker's Dracula like all the cool kids.
Knows
Quit
how to
calling
hardcore
pissed off his
parkour.
parents.
That's a power move.
Cole put his powers to the test, battling rogue superpowered conduits, including the mastermind behind the blast, Kessler.
Kessler!
None of Cole's powers are as sick nasty as his parkour skills, but his ability to manipulate electricity is pretty sweet too. Cole controls electromagnetic energy.
I want to play Infamous again.
Hey, that's from one of the
Jason
ads.
Drake!
I replayed. I beat Infamous 1, and I'm on Infamous 2.
Why didn't this
They-
guy fight Mustafa?
They need to do a PS5 HD collection.
God,
need to-
please.
And they need to not fuck it up the way they did the PS5 version of.
I will say, if they make
Last
a
of Us.
faithful remake, on the PS5, I would buy a PS5 immediately. I just want to say.
Ben,
One and two to Steam.
don't lie to yourself. You know you'll wait. Until
Wait, what?
Okay.
Like Electric Iron Man, grind on rails like
That joke
Again,
certainly
why
didn't
did
land.
this-
Shadow.
Charge up with extra carbon
Muffin
energy,
button.
also like Shadow the Hedgehog, and generate force fields like Shadow the Hedgehog. But these aren't
He's human, Shadow the Hedgehog.
convert any matter they touch.
And he
Pretty
has
much.
Except-
muffin button.
Except the morality actually means something.
Yeah, and it's not just pointless
No, wait.
Oh, well, it defines the mathematical relationship between matter and energy. Essentially, how much energy any given mass contains. Okay, the largest mass object coal absorbs is a 343-gram helicopter chain gun round. Perfectly converting matter to energy is technically impossible, but hey, this is a video game. The mass contained in that bullet, when multiplied by the speed of light,
Oh my God.
would release an energy equivalent to over 7 megatons of TNT.
Uh,
This means coal's
okay.
energy output is basically fueled by a nuclear reactor.
Oh my God.
Huh.
That makes sense.
Sounds like my first ex-wife. Should he somehow run low on energy, he can drain it from nearby appliances to recharge. He's even learned to drain the bioelectricity from people, like this.
Yikes. That's evil Cole, baby.
The bio leech is
Oh,
an
you
evil
giving him the
power.
race here inhibitor. Oh my fucking god.
No, you can use the bio leech.
Yeah, you can use it when you're
Yeah.
good.
The RFI
yeah.
kills him.
No, if you use the actual RFI, it kills
Hmm.
him having him a boost.
Powers could infect and control minds. And he eventually faced down that son of a bitch himself and pwned his ass.
So I'm thinking that this. I'm gonna keep that thought to myself.
Gee, I
now,
wonder
guess.
why.
Wait. Oh my God.
Yep.
Who saw that coming?
Wow. Big twist.
Yeah, similar to the to the twist from Prototype.
PlayStation All Stars footage, yay!
Yeah. Wait, what the fuck?
What the hell?
Evil Boomstick.
Oh my God.
Well, that just happened.
Yep. Phil Lamar. I'm not joking.
For context, electricity moves at approximately 90% the speed of light when traveling through a wire.
Which possessed the power of the ray sphere itself. It could regenerate at an atomic level and eradicate all of Empire City in a single attack.
Oh, and by the way, a nuke did nothing to stop this guy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, the nuke actually caused the beast to take a break and regenerate.
Created by the ray sphere, Cole sacrificed his life, eradicating the conduit genes and saving all of humanity.
Except
there's
not
this
really,
one
because
Native
there's a
American
sequel.
guy who ended up becoming a conduit, but he's
Eh,
not focused.
Close enough. Close enough, I guess.
Cole was remembered as a saint by the people of New Marais, as a hero by the friends he left behind, and an inspiration to future generations.
And then 3 days later, he re-arose.
And we
No,
see
yeah,
it
I
coming
mean,
up in
they- I thought they were mentioning that.
They never mentioned the DLC, did they?
Yeah, they never mentioned
They
Second
also
Son.
didn't.
I'm
Yeah, I was gonna
surprised.
say they didn't mention
Because the
second
Well,
son.
DLC's not
matters.
canon.
Well, they
Yeah,
did show.
no.
They briefly
Vampire-
showed
no,
second
no,
son.
Hang on.
They briefly showed
Ben?
second son, but that's
Ben,
Hang on,
Ben, can you explain?
The Vampire DLC is not canon.
Yeah.
That was its
Yeah,
own
it's not canon.
secondary thing. The only DLC is cosmetic weaponry DLC. I don't recall there being any major canon story DLC stuff.
No,
outside
there
of the
it
stuff for
wasn't.
Second Son,
Nope.
but that was also its own
Also, the
expansion.
Golden Gigawatt Blades DLC, the fucking
Its own
dumb
thing.
This
They
fucking doesn't
also
always
didn't-
pick the canon
Yeah.
stuff
They didn't-
either.
Now I have
they
a.
didn't go
I have s-
over. Sorry, they didn't go over his like just for I guess to show how badass Cole is. They didn't go over his other appearances in mediums. Like they showed. They showed.
He was in
They
Street
showed.
Fighter X Tekken.
Hold on. No, yes, he was in Street Fighter X Tekken, and he was
Right.
in PlayStation All Stars. So I'm surprised they didn't try and I don't know, do
He
some
was also
crazy
in DC
scaling.
Comics.
He
Oh, yeah.
kind of showed his feats in PlayStation All Stars in the background, but that was Evil Cole.
Yeah, well, they showed
Yeah.
some good cool
Well,
stuff. but that was
actually,
about it.
Good Cole was also in that game, and his
Yes.
rival was Raiden.
Here's a fun fact.
I got it.
The creators of Infamous would not let them add Cole into the game unless they add Evil Cole as well.
Well,
So,
makes sense.
I have
Yeah,
to, I have
the
to,
same thing for
I have
Street
to
Fighter
mention
X
something here
Tekken.
before we move on. I'm thinking that Cole might win this by using Alex's
going to win.
biomass against him, and basically, because Alex can hypothetically absorb infinite biomass, but if Cole can and just feed on that
Run it
biomass
in-
for himself, he could like this fight could very well like go very
Maybe.
weird directions.
Well, like,
I
turn
mean,
it into
anyway.
biomass
No,
into
Let's
electric
continue. Let's
energy.
continue.
yeah, let's go ahead and keep
continue.
moving on.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's
Both got the
let's see
power
what-
band.
Skip the sponsor.
No!
I'm with
Skip.
Hello, Fresh. Goodbye, Fresh.
Goodbye, Fresh.
Oh, we're back here again.
Oh, god dang it.
Alex Mercer
Again?
in hell. Manhattan Island was gripped by the horrific blacklight virus.
Whoa, deja
transforming
vu.
citizens into terrifying monsters.
Oh, so modern day.
Hey.
Official traits: distant, predatory, super intelligent, terrifying, vengeful. Admits he is a killer, a monster, terrorist because he's just so edgy.
Yeah, the Alpha Viralis Metamorph.
But he did have one thing. The blacklight virus can rewrite your cells all the way down to your DNA. And somehow it granted Alex incredible superhuman abilities. He can infect
Kind of.
touches with this virus.
Ah, there
Yeah,
you go.
that's Infamous 2.
Molecular level in
Or
seconds.
Prototype 2, rather. That.
Prototype 2. Jesus, Alex.
So Alex pushed on, desperate to avenge himself and the city by finding whatever monster
Oh,
unleashed
man,
his
man.
nightmare and eat them. Yeah, he can consume people to give himself a power boost. He's like Kirby, if Kirby listened to Linkin Park.
I've become so numb, I can feel you there.
Increased reaction times and even a regenerative healing factor. Essentially, Alex is an ever-evolving super being, the ultimate being. Oh, like Shadow the Hedgehog. By consuming
Huh, yeah, kinda.
Ow, the edge.
Lots of shadow jokes today. Wait, what? What was
Too
that?
many.
69.
69. Ah, fuck.
Oh,
11 seconds. Being able to condense that much information into that time frame means Alex can perceive events happening within 5 nanoseconds. Which is
Jesus.
how long I was married to my second ex-wife. Alex his body at will, creating
Another
giant
ex-wife joke. Good job, Boomstick.
and forming nearly
Resistance to
unbreakable
electricity.
armor. And when he wants to
Yep, there's
kill
one.
someone, he can become his own weapon, turning his limbs into claws
That
and
might be
blades,
something.
or generating countless tendrils that give him unmatched
The
control
gameplay
over the
for
environment. With these
Prototype is
he unlocks a
amazing.
bunch of Street Fighter moves, like the air dash, the
But
cannonball,
hard.
the bullet dive drop, and the Hunter Dirt Nap. Pretty sure that was my third ex-wife's boyfriend's stripper name. And
What?
Alex
From a game perspective, Alex's health can be viewed as a representation of his biomass reserves.
Yep,
It
that's what I
increases when
said.
he consumes and decreases when he performs devastator attacks.
You mentioned Street Fighter for Alex, but not Cole, where he was actually in a Street Fighter game.
Oh, shit.
Despite being seen as the world's most wanted terrorist, fair, Alex used his
Ha.
powers to stop the spread of the virus and end the city's nuclear devastation. It was then he learned the truth. He wasn't Alex Mercer at all.
Yeah.
The Blacklight virus itself
Yep.
absorbed the memories and likeness of the real Alex Mercer, who was not only dead, but actually responsible for all of this in the first place. To
Oh.
decipher this, I recreated the Blacklight virus myself.
No!
The most dangerous.
Oh dear.
Why is it empty?
No.
Right behind it.
Oh.
So,
Oh, God.
Hey,
look.
Terrifying.
the whole time was himself. Dun, dun, dun.
Done.
Yeah, this is another reason why they brought this up.
He ate the Blacklight virus, and when
Wow.
things didn't work out and he was about to die, he
So
went
Wiz has the
slowly
Blacklight
shut down the
virus,
city.
you know, I'm
What a
guessing.
petty SOB. What he didn't know
They
was that
lied. His age is 29, not 30.
memories and become a new Alex. How?
He's
Well,
furry and
don't
Prototype
question it,
too.
it's a nothing burger. But
Oh, okay.
I mean, technically, he's one.
Well, technically, he'd
Less.
be 1.5.
Bastard sure tried to be. Too bad humans can be dicks, and everyone kept betraying him. Even the so-called
Yeah.
love of his life, who shot him in the face.
Oh, my God.
So Alex figured, obviously, humanity had to go. Not just go.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks that was
And
only
then-
in tie-in comics.
And then Prototype 2 happened.
Yeah.
Because Prototype 2's plot starts off and it makes no fucking sense.
Where Alex decided to become the bad guy.
Yeah.
strong enough to do it. Alex can casually tear buildings apart, dodge supersonic tank shells, and even defeated the Supreme Hunter, who was tough enough to survive a nuclear blast that would have leveled Manhattan.
Estimates made by non-Blackwatch characters claim the blast yields equaled about 75 kilotons of TNT. Blackwatch's own map of its blast radius takes
Based on
precedence.
the blast radius given in-game,
Damn.
this is 450 kilotons of TNT.
Damn.
Speaking of nukes,
God
Alex
damn.
survived one. His healing factor is off the chain, and after being blasted,
He
into
kind of
space,
survived.
all
He
needed
didn't
was the
fully
tiniest
survive.
bit of himself to come
Yeah.
back.
God.
His healing occurs at the cellular level, making him very
Saved Manhattan.
Saved Manhattan
And
and
terrorized
terrorized Manhattan.
But attempting to take over the world,
He is the ultimate consumer.
pissed off a certain James Heller, a dude who had just
Yep.
had enough of his fucking weird, fucking rambling shit. Who
Give me back my daughter.
Yeah.
Alex once and for all.
That was the funniest bit.
Kirby symbiote, die by the Kirby symbiote. What? Was Alex just a virus after all? I mean, what's more human than the urge to conquer the world, drive its species to the slaughter, consume its raw genetic resources, and crown yourself king? Maybe
What?
the day Alex Mercer died was the day he truly became human. Wow, that was intense.
Yeep.
Fuck yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I
sounds about right.
Go away,
Uh,
advertisement. We don't want
This
you.
episode is sponsored by sunglasses, which we won't need.
At the very least, it's not a
Wait, are they
scam
gonna-
this time. Be happy.
Oh, I'm happy about
Are they gonna
that.
show the image? Are we gonna get the picture? Are
Let's
we?
go. Let's go. Let's go. Everyone, shut up.
Oh, they didn't reference the pictures.
Maybe they will at the
Here we
end.
go.
Oh, this gotta be interesting. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
baby.
dear.
Right off the bat.
Oh, wow.
Bruh, your lips.
Let's watch those lips
What's
sync.
Cole's voice here?
Oh, let's go.
Parkour.
Oh,
They took out the screen.
nice.
I'm not digging this.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I like it, but there's some weird cutting.
Oh, hey, the Blanca ball.
Oh,
Here you go.
oh.
Anybody else getting flashbacks to Freddie Mercury and Connor McLeod fighting on the side of the building now?
No. Yes.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Cryokinesis.
Oh,
Oh!
yeah.
Heard the crunch.
There you go.
Web swing. Dude,
Oh,
he's
boy.
gonna run out of matter to absorb soon. I think Cole's gonna win.
Oh,
He's gonna
dude,
have to
that
start
fucking-
eating
I
innocent
know, I mean-
bystanders.
It's the Office in the Spider-Man game when he's dodging to
Yeah.
the crane.
Oh, it's
Oh.
sick.
Oh, dang.
It's his armor. He's armored up.
Oh,
Ah, that's the evolved
Oof.
one.
oh,
Oh, damn.
oh,
Oh, there we go.
oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Bro, calm down. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, he made the tornado.
Oh, tornado.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, sec-
And yet you wasted on these vermin. You and I can change this world for the better.
absorb it.
Vermin I see here is you.
oh.
There we go. That's
Sonic
smart.
Storm.
Whosoever holds this lightning.
There's the
Oh,
Cole.
shit.
Oh,
It's finally
Armored up.
Go.
oh, he ain't playing.
Oh,
Damn.
come on, Cole, let's go.
Oh,
Come on,
Oh my
come
God.
on, no.
Is this? We are.
I
This
like
is a.
that.
This is a fucking.
oh,
This is straight up a
Absorb it,
Batman v
absorb
Superman
it.
reference here.
oh shit! He's gonna absorb him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Oh,
Yo.
yeah.
Yes.
Yo.
What did I fucking say?
Damn.
What did I fucking say? Somebody better pick up that phone because I fucking called it.
Yep.
I called
There
it.
you go.
Oh, I called it. I called it. I said he was gonna absorb him.
Oh, it's so fucking good. All right, so what's the result?
So glad I called that.
I had to hear someone say awesome sauce.
I think we're about to have a busy line here because everybody fucking called that.
Yeah.
They could each create weapons, amplify their strength, and fight at range.
This might be one of my favorite
Yep.
3D fights so far.
Well, Alex would usually need to weaken an opponent to get that trick to work.
While the Ray Spear creates conduits, Kessler was unsure if Cole would survive its explosion. As stated in the mission The Truth, the beast was torn apart by a Ray Spear, so Cole's survival accounts for his own ability.
Even then, the Ray Sphere incident that created Cole's powers in the first place ripped apart everyone else down to the atomic level, and the beast's attacks were capable of the same thing. Considering the Blacklight virus only works down to molecular DNA, it's reasonable to say Cole would be able to resist it. Sure, Alex could have potentially consumed Cole's biomass to
Cole's bioleech drains neuroelectricity from living things,
Neuroelectricity from living
which is-
things,
which
which
is
is
partially
responsible for
responsible
healing
for
the
healing
human
the
body
human
from
body
wounds.
wounds.
It is likely it could
likely
negate
it could
Alex's
negate
generation.
Alex's generation. Fuck you, Kevin.
What
I
was
got
I
that one
saying?
with you.
give himself an edge.
Oh, that's actually
but
quite
Cole could just
interesting.
do the same thing to
Yeah.
Alex, absorbing his bioelectricity to power himself
I guess
back up.
his
But nothing
bio
could
stuff
challenge
could
the
be better.
good in power. Everything
God,
else
look-
survived would simply not
poor
match
Alex.
Cole's force fields, and
Notably
especially not the power of
slower.
the beast. The blast
What do you
that
mean
was
notably
created
slower?
actually
He's
had a
able to
much
dash in
wider
the air.
radius than the one the Supreme
I guess that
Hunter
did
could
make sense
survive.
since
To
Cole
compete
would
with
be
these foes,
faster.
this means Cole was simply far more powerful than Alex. Speaking of the beast, Cole's ability to disintegrate it at the atomic level meant that even Alex's crazy molecular regeneration couldn't stand up to Cole's might. Just like how Cole could overpower Kessler.
So I'm
despite
guessing
his
Evil Cole would
resistance to
stop
electricity,
Alex, I'm
or how he
guessing.
resisted
Yes.
Simon's mind
Yeah, of
control.
course.
Yeah, Evil Cole would have just fucking
Shasha's organic
burned.
tar controls minds and physically alters its victims. This is curiously similar to the Blacklight virus. Cole not only resisted the tar, but healed people affected by it.
Which were
Oh,
eerily
yeah.
similar to the Blacklight virus.
Okay,
I
maybe
was
that's
gonna say-
not
If Alex fought Evil Cole instead, well, it'd be even worse.
Oh, they're
'cause
bringing it
then
out.
Cole took the beast's power for himself. That's good night for
Ah.
Angry Virus
Okay.
Boy. Alex was
Okay,
a
so at least they
versatile,
brought it up.
deadly opponent, but Cole's
He's trying to
talent,
rip it
speed,
apart.
and raw power gave him the edge. Alex got the Cole shoulder, just
Oh.
like this stupid script. It's Cole McGrath.
All right, let's find out who's next. Let's find out who's next.
Oh,
it's either.
man.
It's,
I-
Is
let's
it what
see
I
if-
think it is?
Let's see if
Dragon
it's
Ball
one of-
Z.
Duh, hang on, let's see what's next.
I saw leaks of what the next
Jackie
one is.
Chan versus Mike Tyson.
Captain America versus Superman.
No.
Oh,
fucking way.
is that
No.
Unicron versus Frieza? No, it's Megatron versus Frieza.
Frieza.
Oh shit.
Megatron's gonna die, baby.
Oh,
I
shit.
don't know about that because Transformers does
no.
scale pretty high
Yeah,
with its
okay.
cosmology.
You
You
We'll
should
talk- we'll
ask
talk about
that
that.
yourself.
We'll talk about that.
The
We'll
reason
talk
made
about
an
that.
energy
No,
ball that destroyed the planet with a finger.
Pause.
Don't
Yeah,
forget he
but
can-
Megatron
let's-
scales above that.
No. Let's
Yeah,
talk
right
about.
now,
Let's
he's
talk
technically
about.
stronger than
No.
freaking Vegeta
Hang on.
now.
Shush.
Yeah, let's.
Let's talk about
Yeah,
the
go ahead, Ben.
episode. Let's
Oh,
talk
God.
about. Let's talk about the episode first. Let me get the tier list up. I should have it. There it
Wait,
is.
no.
Okay, I found it. Okay,
I just like
so
to say I called
we're
This
it.
gonna
was-
do.
Yeah,
We're gonna do the usual order. So Alex, you go first.
All right, so I like this episode, but I think it has some jank in it. And so while I really like how the results turned out, and I like the fight choreography, the early half of the fight, like the middle 2 quarters ish have some issues. The early half has more of the issues than the latter half does. Some of the animation looks kind of weird. I know these are PS3 models that they're working with, but like the mouth motions
Yeah.
looked more
especially-
normal back in the
I would-
day, you know?
I would say that Cole. Hold on, let me just pause right there. I would say that Cole has better options because Cole has He has 4 3D models. One from Infamous 1, one from Infamous 2, one from PlayStation All Stars, and one from Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
So
gonna say the DLC.
I think no,
And
I
they did
think
have
they
a prototype remaster for PS4 as well.
I think no. I think they purposely chose the Infamous 2 Cole model because it was the best that could match up with the prototype model for Alex. Because yes, Alex got a remaster. I've played the remaster. It's not all that impressive. It doesn't completely remaster anything. It's just an upscale. So the whole game
Pretty much an
is
upscale
still
tour of the original prototype.
yeah, exactly. The models, the city, it's all still the same from the PS3. So I think that's what made it worse is that they had to match Alex's model, and the best way was to use Infamous 2 Cole's model.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
That is fair. I still don't entirely like how the animation goes because there is some jerkiness, some jankiness with the lip animation, but I am willing to give it a certain amount of leeway in that regard. Or like it's not all bad. It's not as good as the peak episodes that we've had previously. You know, like I'd say hey that. No, seriously.
Sorry.
Hey, like 100% serious is when I say, hey, that Ben, can you scroll up for me real quick?
Oh, where?
I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay. Hey, so
Oh wait, shit. Is this my tier list? I think this is my tier list. Hang on. I
Okay.
fucked this up.
yeah,
Hang
so let's
on.
go.
Wait. Okay, yeah. What the fuck? It did the wrong tier list. Remix.
That's it. This is the one.
Yeah, this is mine. Oh, this is your guys. So okay, I fucked it up. All right, so back up.
Okay. Hey,
So
yeah.
where?
So just scroll up so I can see what's in the top here. So
Alright.
we've had some really good episodes of Death Battle this season, and
Yeah.
one of the last episode was great. Even though people had some issues with the ending. Dovahkiin versus Chosen Undead had some jank in it too, but there weren't really any continuity errors that I could find. This one had some continuity errors. Here's
I
where
never noticed, honestly.
well, it might not have been continuity errors. It might have just been bad cinematography.
Well, like technical difficulties, if anything.
Yeah, technical
like
difficulties, if anything. And because like the Chosen Undead versus the Dovahkiin, has some serious jank in it, but this has more jank, I think.
Okay, I would also like.
I think why you're thinking that is because this episode's a lot more ambitious in terms of scope, while the Dragonborn one is restricted to one location.
Yeah.
Well, also too, the Dragonborn versus the Skyrim versus Dark Souls one that has a reason to have jank because again, it's based off of the models, but also just based off of their gameplay. It's staying true to the gameplay.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that makes it funnier. Unironically, it makes it a little funnier, like how we see their animations are a little stiff and like the dodge rolling mechanics being used.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
The episode.
It's part of the charm. They intentionally did that as charm because that's how it is in the game.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing it for that. I'm actually on board with that. I'm just saying that this right here has some issues that would bring it down a little bit for me in terms of like this season's rankings. I'd have to put it kind of middling-ish in It's Time for a Death Battle if I had to put it up here. And I kind of do have to put it up here because while I don't 100% and rate it like a 10 out of 10, I'm putting it at like a 9 or an 8.5 at the lowest,
That's
so
fair.
I'd have to say like they captured the characters' abilities and looks fairly well. The voices are all right from what I remember, and I'm open to changing my mind on this, but I'd have to say that it's probably around it's at least as good as, if not, it's at least as good as Chosen Undead versus Dovahkiin, I'd say.
That high, huh?
I'd put it there. I might put it a little bit lower. I'm trying to think because this list
Do you want
is
to know
all...
where I would put it? You want to know where I would put it personally?
Oh yeah, shoot, Ben. Go ahead.
I would put it right here.
Yeah, I can agree.
Wait,
I can agree with that.
I've got the one. I meant here. So my opinion is that I loved what this episode did and what it tried to do. Does it have jank? Yes. Do I think it does put the episode down a little bit? Yes. Is there a ton of passion in this episode? I would say absolutely. There's just a lot of love put into here. I wouldn't say on the same level as Bill versus Discord because they were allowed to do a lot more of it in this episode. With this one, they're a bit more restricted. Well, with Bill versus Discord, they didn't really have that many restrictions outside of budget. To me, it's a damn good episode. I would say it's definitely higher up on the season 10 tier, but as the best episode, I can only really put it as higher than Hercule, but I can't really put it above something like Leonardo versus Red Ranger because to me that had much better quality animation to me, in my opinion, of course. And yeah, yes, I do prefer. I would say I do prefer the Chosen Undead one as well, because while it's not, it doesn't try to be more ambitious. It keeps to the same place. It tries to mimic the gameplay rather well, and just had some, I would say, a little more grander moments, at least in my opinion. Of course, it's based off preference. As someone who really wanted to see this matchup happen, and someone who's been wanting to see it for like a decade, I'm satisfied. I'm very happy with what they tried to do. It's clear they did their damnedest to do their best, and I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy. I just can't put any higher than where it is now, personally. That's where I would personally put it, because I really love what they did. I just, because of some of the jank and some of the other smaller issues in the animation, I can't put it higher, but I respect what they were able to do with the limitations they had.
Can I go? I'm gonna be. Yeah. I'm gonna bring. Oh man. I did not care for this episode. I didn't like it.
Really?
It's not. No. I think the one thing that, okay, we're talking about the animation, but I'm looking at this as a whole package. I really do not like this script. The host analysis was very weak. The whole idea that this is a time capsule episode that was done back in 10 years ago as an excuse as to why Wiz and Boomstick are now doing it, and they're just using what they wrote down 10 years ago and just criticizing what they were doing. I don't like that. The jokes were just repeating themselves way too many times. So many, oh, my wife this, my wife that, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Honestly,
they were
on board with the Tobey
more
stuff.
than they usually do.
No. And also, too, I do not like the idea that, and I don't like that they're calling out how irrelevant these characters are. And it just, that rubs me the wrong way. And it's not just in this episode. The build up to this episode, from what I saw on the previews for both these characters and the Death Battle cast, it very much feels like they did not put everything into this episode. They went all out with Bill versus Discord. They had fun, and that really gave us, in my opinion, one of the best episodes for a champion fight this season. This episode just felt like sloppy seconds, and I don't like that. The animation, I think, is fine. It's clear the Blender team were doing their best, and John Mitchell's storyboards, I'm sure, are going to be better than the actual finished animation, because we've all seen how his storyboards can really, really transform and hype up an episode. So I'm very curious to see what his boards look like. The voice acting I thought was fine. I think Kevin and Paul did a great job as Alex and
Paul from Spider-Man?
No.
I think that joke wasn't funny.
Yeah, no, shut up. Paul's choice to actually do the Infamous 2 Cole voice was much better, because Cole's first voice actor was recasted, and in Infamous 2, he sounds kind of like a gruff dude bro or dude surfer. So he's much more
that kind of thing.
Yeah, not kind of that, but he's not doing his best. 2009's Infamous one, he literally sounded like he was just doing a Christian Bale Batman voice. It was very kind of distracting.
So like a lot of
yeah, a lot of that. Okay, I know Alex and Kevin weren't feeling the music. I liked the music. It very much felt like that late. It felt like that late. It felt like that late 2007, 2008 rap. I'm happy Swats and Omega Sparks got to come back.
Yeah, I love when they work with Death Battle because I love the Fallen Goddess track and I love this one even more. There's also one of my favorite lines from that was the DLC line. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? That's
I do.
brutal.
But anyway,
Yeah, I'm gonna read it real quickly. Watch out, because when I'm on the raft, I'm gonna take a McGrath and turn him into a DLC skin graph.
I do not. I agree. I think this is probably not the best 3D episode we had. I think Skyrim versus Dark Souls, Darth Vader versus Obito, Dimitri versus Guts. I think all three of those are significantly better than this. And
I don't know about Guts, but I do agree with the other two.
Well, again, Guts versus Dimitri didn't have as much jank as this. Again, I think that was only going to come down to, look, if Torian wasn't working, if Torian had worked on this back in the day, I think it would have been amazing. But
yeah, that's fair.
But that's an unfair high standard. So I'm going to say that this episode should go.
Tell me if you want me to scroll down.
Okay, I say it should still go in its time for Death Battle because I think if I watch it enough times, I'll warm up to it slightly more. But I think for now, it should go below Bucky versus Fox McCloud.
Fair enough.
Bucky, Captain Bucky O'Hare.
I'm trying to think of the vote count. Where did you say you wanted to be? Do you agree with my placement? Or
I can agree with your placement.
Yeah,
I do have to kind of clarify my thoughts on the music. As a big fan of that particular era of music, I'd be totally on board with this, being like a, good rap metal. Oh, but it's like there's some good stuff and there's some like really lame ass shit in there, where it's like it doesn't sound.
It doesn't do a good job of complementing the animation. It really is better to listen to on its own.
Listen to it on its own. It's much better, I feel like. Another thing that puts the episode down a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's same thing with Bill versus Discord though, because it doesn't complement it too well.
Like, no, I would say Bill versus Discord's soundtrack. Bill versus Discord soundtrack is much better and fits with
I meant like I worded it badly. It's much better in that one, but it's not used as well in terms of using the full track. Sorry, I should have been more clear. That's my fault. I should have been more clear.
No, it's okay.
All right. Who's next? RGS, do you want to go? Because I know you were very excited for this matchup, so I'm curious to see what you have to say.
Right. So here's the thing. Depending how you look at this is either a weird way to go about the ending, or it works. Because that's the thing. Alex is the virus. Viruses do not emit bioelectricity.
But he is assimilating biomass.
Like
the virus cannot survive without a host.
Here's my take.
I
would understand, but as it says, like, you would need to destroy all of them to do that. The absorbing thing would be able to do that, I feel like. But
yeah, and he has been ignored before in Infinite too.
Like destroy the body. It only takes away bioelectricity.
Mm-hmm.
So one can argue.
I will say lightning. I will say it is a bit weird, as they do mention another way Cole could destroy him, and just by eradicating him. It does make me wonder why they didn't do that. I mean, obviously because it looks fucking cool to have him crash down while he's absorbing him, but sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, but ultimately, I think if you want to go for that ending, have BioLeech be the starter, and then have him summon the Lightning Storm to fully finish him.
That's
because
fair.
you're removing his ability to potentially absorb more biomass, and then you're eviscerating him. Also, another issue I kind of got is some of the posing for some things. I think it's a case where I maybe would have liked a bit more realistic, like posing for Cole, since a lot of his parkour is kind of based in reality, whereas for Alex, a lot of his shit is very more overblown.
It looks more like Spider-Man stuff that he's doing.
Yeah, I don't mind that for Alex because he's a very outwards, very weird character, whereas for Cole, a lot of his stuff is still based in reality. A lot of his techniques for parkour is still like how a normal guy would probably navigate through a city. And honestly, I would have liked to see more of Alex using a lot more of his powers. We see him use Blade, we see him use Tendril, and I like that. We see him use Hammer Fist, and we get to see him use the armor, and that's fine. But we don't really get to see him use Claw. We don't really get to see him use he used the evolve form actually. I would have liked him to use Claw a bit more to try to keep Cole on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
And also saying Alex is a bit slower is a bit weird, considering that Alex's split speed is actually pretty damn good because it can cover a city in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Cole heavily relies upon a lot of other stuff for his speed, so that feels a bit weird to me as well because it kind of feels like that we kind of underestimate the speed advantage that Alex actually potentially has. Otherwise, I do agree with a lot of the result. It's just a case where I can't help but be a bit nitpicky and go, that feels a bit weird. You should have used this, or if anything, you should extrapolate and go with this to kind of get a much more satisfying conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of worried that they'd use the RFI, or they'd technically bring it up. And I felt, oh no, they're gonna use that. It's gonna be like an insta win button, or they're gonna bring up Full of Blood as a reference for how Paul can fight off viruses or foreign shit to his body. But I'm happy that I'm happy they actually tried to use the Sasha Tar thing. But the issue with that is that it's still a case of, do you think that Cole could potentially hold out against something that's genetic? Because he used the Restier thing as a result of his immune system. That's radiation and not really anything that's potentially genetic. I want to point those out as criticisms and say that yes, this is a great fight. This deserves to be in time for a death battle. But as fans of both, I kind of have to be a bit nitpicky and go, oh well, that feels weird. Once you look at it in this angle and go, I don't want to give it like overblow it with too much positivity and negativity. I want to be the one in the middle that says, yeah, there are a couple of things I don't like. And also, Jedi brought up how the script in the beginning really isn't all that interesting or all that good. And I do agree. It kind of feels like malicious compliance. They don't seem very excited to do the thing. It just kind of feels like, oh, we got to do it because they picked it.
So where would you put
yeah.
RGS?
Well, the animation's good. The animation's actually pretty great. Actually, my negligence aside, if I were to place it anywhere, it would be It's Time for a Death Battle, but below Hercule and Dan Hibiki.
Ah, so one step below us.
One step below, yeah, because Dan versus Hercule.
One step below,
more.
man. One step back.
Yeah. It still felt like they were willing to do the fight and they enjoyed what they were doing, whereas for this one, they didn't seem to enjoy anything in their script.
The spaceman says, I do not vibe with this universe, takes off helmet.
Basically, yeah. It kind of felt like they didn't want to do the episode going by their script, and I'd argue, well, if you didn't want to do it, you were better off not putting it in.
I personally thought the script was fine, but I do understand the complaints. It reminded me of classic Death Battle in a weird way, but I like that. But I get the complaints though. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's worse. I would say I would say that that's even worse because again, just go. It should not feel like classic Death Battle. You want to stay away from that as much as possible. You want to just embrace
classic Death Battle.
The life bars, the clear bias, the misinformation, the lower runtime.
What misinformation? It's as long as Build versus Discord.
Akuma was not a final boss, and neither was Shang Tsung for the longest time.
What does that have to do with this episode?
Those are just examples of what they want to stay away from in terms of misinformation.
I also just again want to
reiterate. Shao Kahn's a modern episode.
I just want to reiterate.
My problem if they still fucked it up.
I just want to reiterate. It really isn't. It really isn't just. It isn't just conspiracy that I'm saying. It feels like they didn't want to do this, and that goes and that bleeds into the script. go watch their short talk on this when they revealed the sneak preview for the animation. Like they legitimately sound disinterested, and it sounds like they barely have any faith in this episode or had any faith in how to approach this episode. It like Ben Singer was the only one who did it. I'm not exaggerating. Again, you can go watch the Death Battle cast. Ben Singer was the only one who actually did a good job advertising. Like, hell, look at the preview names. Look at the preview, the analysis preview names. Like, literally, they outright call Alex Mercer Carnage. There's
no, that's a reference to how he was originally going to face Carnage.
I don't care if it's a reference.
I know.
That's lazy.
It's a harmless reference.
Also, the actual usage of like repetitive jokes in the actual analysis is really
that is legit lazy. This is not 2013. This is 2023. Actually, put some damn effort into naming your damn previews. Because it gives me the idea that you are not that you couldn't care less.
I don't know. I don't really see that.
I mean,
I wouldn't. Right now, I have to
that.
say this right now. Just like how people are over romanticizing the 80s, people are overly bullying the early 2000s, and I really don't get it. I get that there's a lot of stuff to hate about it, but out of all the things, Infamous and Prototype are just ones I don't get why they would.
They literally opened this episode by saying by calling these two irrelevant. They have never done that as a joke to any other combatants.
Now, granted, it makes sense why they would joke about something, joke about that in this way. It doesn't mean that they should have done it, though. That pretty much means that they could with any other character. Like, for example, imagine if Berserk ended the moment the author died, like outright just stopped. Would it be fair, and would it really be fair if they started calling Berserk and Guts irrelevant? No, well, it really isn't, because people still love that series. Even when the guy died, even when the main guy died, the main guy who created it died, still being carried on, and people still read it and talked about it. Just like how Infamous and Prototype are still being talked about today, despite only having like 2 to 3 games. They shouldn't really be joking about that when they haven't done that with everything else. And also, I really don't like the fact. Again, I brought this up. I stand by it when I say people romanticize the 80s too much and bully the early 2000s too much as well. The people keep looking at the early 2000s as if it's a plague. I mean, what happened to the other timelines? The 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 70s, the 60s? You're giving the 2000s shit, and you're not looking at any other time? Look, well, I get it, like, in terms of entertainment, but still, it's the 2000s are like, oh, overly edgy. Oh, somebody once told me. Oh, man, Justin Bieber. My butt. Okay, yeah.
You're breaking up.
You made the same joke everyone else did in the early 2000s. Let's move on.
I mean,
did IKA give his thoughts?
No.
Hey, go ahead and shoot.
I'm going to be honest. As a person who absolutely loves and adores these two things, I loved the actual battle. Hated everything else about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when I watch a death battle, I want, especially if it's one that I've been like waiting for a long time, I really want to feel like it's a celebration of the characters, and all I felt like is that they just shit on these characters the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, do we really need to finish out the Hedgehog comparison?
Actually, I want to bring that up.
Also, people want to talk about Jaws.
RGS wants to say something. RGS wants to say something. What?
Okay.
I want to point out this. A lot of the jokes in each one are fucking repetitive. They're all focused on Shadow. They're all focused on being edgy.
I mean, they're right, though. Like, they're not incorrect, are they?
I didn't really mind it because it was pretty accurate.
They're not wrong, but at the same time, it's too easy.
When you're watching a death battle, you want to see that moment where Boomstick's like, oh, that was badass. We didn't have that at all.
No, there's a few times where we did that.
I mean, we had it when
Not really, no, not with this.
They didn't have a big celebration for either one of these characters.
Yeah, it's a lot of 2000s mentions. Spider-Man 3, Shadow the Hedgehog.
No, that was
Miley
Spider-Man
Cyrus.
2. That was Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter.
Spider-Man 3.
Even the rundown of their stories, it just felt like they weren't dragging it. They weren't taking the time to tell them like they were with Bill versus Discord for the last one. It legit felt like they were just wanting to get the story rundown and the versus stuff out of the way as quickly as possible. Like, I did not feel like, if you watch this episode and you haven't played it, which is going to be most people when this goes live, are you really going to feel like you walked away with some compelling narrative stuff for both of these two, and it makes you want to play the games?
Yeah, these would not have.
I would be if it was me, I would be interested in checking out the games based off the abilities they had or showed. I mean,
based on the characters, like the way they were
Based on
described.
this,
We're not talking about the abilities. We're talking about the characters.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
People want to talk about how it was short. Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer. Their fight was, dude. This was a short analysis, shorter than it should have been. They had comic books. There was more to look into than just the basic stuff you found out in their games. They had comic books. They had comic books to look at.
Actually, thank you for bringing that up, because a lot of the fucking comments for Infamous actually go deep into Cole's fucking personality. Even to Infamous 2 did that, saying that he didn't want to fucking get in that college just because how they treated his friend. He believed in right and wrong. He had like a pretty fucking solid moral code. And going back on the whole joke thing, I don't want the same joke. Oh, it's kind of like Shadow the Hedgehog. Tell the joke different. Make you believe it's a different joke.
That's fair.
And
also, I just want to mention quickly, Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer is longer than both Bill Discord and Cole Mercer.
Yeah, like in terms of the analysis or what?
And
No, but again,
full episode.
Though, it's a short death battle. People have been saying it's a short fight, but once I saw this, it felt like this. I feel like the short fight there was the same amount of time they spent on the analysis altogether. It felt too short, too small.
Well, not only that, but Bill and Discord, I mean, that made me want to go out and look at these characters. This was short. It really just didn't seem like they wanted to do it at all. And if they didn't want to do it, they really shouldn't have even put it in a vote for people.
Yeah, they should have just held it back at least a year or two more.
I mean, again, my friends, one of my friends and a friend of his have been pushing for this fight for a long, long time. They were the reason that this fight got on the bracket, and they led a monstrous, great campaign to get this episode noticed and put on the ballot. So, I mean, they're probably going to come out of this loving it. I'm just going to come out of this not feeling satisfied enough, because, again, I really feel like Bill versus Discord, while I may disagree with how they worded and presented the outcome, I still felt like that gave a great rundown of the characters, and it treated them with respect and love. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what you need to do for a champ for these type of fights. These were voted by the people. You need to make the people feel rewarded and loved for having it be here.
Yeah, and I mean, that one was just fun. This one, I don't know, it was just quick. Like, they just wanted to sweep it over.
Yeah.
I personally,
how gross can I be, Ben? How gross can I be in that recording?
They're probably going to put more effort. They're probably going to put more effort into Megatron versus Frieza for its analysis in the next time, because
that is going to be so fucking weird.
I mean, when it comes to Frieza versus when it comes to Frieza and Megatron, there's a far more to cover, so it makes sense. That episode's probably got to be longer than Bill versus Discord in terms of the analysis and everything.
I just mean in terms of a character study, it's going to be better than this, because they're actually going to give a shit.
It's a definite. It's definite.
To me, I see what they were going with to try and emulate the classic Death Battle. Someone pointed out they actually brought back a classic line.
You really can't, and you really don't want to, though. Nobody's asking for classic Death Battle to come back in any way.
I understand. I'm just pointing out. I see where they're coming from.
Yeah, no, because if you're gonna bring back, I even said this in a podcast because my friend even mentioned that. What if they did that? And I said, no, you can't do that. You can't emulate classic Death Battle because that's not a good idea. Because even if you brought it back, then you would have had to get Torian back to do the animation because Torian is classified as classic Death Battle. But then what are you going to do? You want this episode to feel like it was made. You want this episode.
That's not classic Death Battle. The animator for Goku versus Superman is classic Death Battle right there.
Yeah, but
Torian still classifies as classic Death Battle.
Oh, I know. I'm talking. When I was saying classic Death Battle, I'm talking about season 1.
So I'm gonna go ahead and move us on here because we're running in circles. RGS.
I haven't really. If I had to put it,
please let's move on. We've gone.
Gizmo, where did you put it?
I didn't put it anywhere. I was trying to say where I was going to put it. If I had to put it anywhere, though, I would put it right under Ultron versus a Sigma because while I love the fight like everyone else would, the analysis just felt like brushed aside, looked at once and never again. It's treated like the redheaded stepchild, and I will never buy anyone or anything when it's brought up like, oh, they try to bring back the.
No, please, they're going in a circle again. You're going in a circle, please.
Because everyone else has said their piece on it. I want to see my piece on it. I want to see my piece on it. There's no way you can bring back in any way classic Death Battle because there's too much. There's too much that was wrong with classic Death Battle. I mean, sure, it paved the way with modern day Death Battle, but there was too much of it that was bad about it. The banter between Wiz and Boomstick was not funny. The iconic Boomstick voice was no way good up until a lot later when he deepened the voice. The animations were janky. The health bars were just unneeded, and they knew that too because they took that away. Also, some of the information didn't make sense to me. Just like how Akuma was seen as a final boss. No, he's a hidden character that you can either unlock to play or unlock to fight. He is in no way a sub-boss or even a final boss. I'm going to get away from that now. Also, the runtime. Because of the runtime, they were limited to how much information they can give and say about each character that they were giving, information about. You cannot go back to the limited amount of information they had back then because people are going to be wondering, hey, where's the information? The YouTube videos can go as long as an hour, so why aren't you giving more information? Yeah, and I can go on, but those are basically the key reasons on the top of my head why you could never go back to classic Death Battle because nobody wants any of that jank anymore, and the improvements now are something people can either get used to or love more than what we had years ago. Sure, I would love to have the old fight announcement back, but what can I do? What can I do?
Okay. Bender, where did you put it?
All right.
I put it. Let me say it.
You already said it.
No, let me say it again. You didn't hear me.
All right.
I put it below Fox versus Bucky.
Fox and Bucky. And
Bucky! Captain Bucky
RGS.
O'Hare.
And
RGS, where would you put it?
Ferret, where'd you put it?
I said I put it below Hercule and Dan, but I'm actually
Hercule
right.
and Dan.
Because they couldn't give a fuck. How vulgar can I be on this show?
Very.
Right. It feels like they were disgusted with me, and they couldn't even bother to give me a good wank. They could not jerk me off good enough because they were disgusted.
Okay. So Ferret, where'd you put it?
I would put it all the way down to between Batman and Spider-Man and Dio and Alucard.
Ooh,
that's hard.
I feel like I actually felt some love for those characters, even if I didn't really care for the actual death battles. This one, I didn't feel it. I liked the battle, but that was about it.
Right. And now, Sonic, where did you put it? Where would you put it if you haven't already gone? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I probably put it below Beerus versus Galaxia. Like, right right under that in worthy death.
Honestly, yeah. Can I change my ranking? I'm gonna put it below.
Yeah.
Hold on. Scroll down
Because
for me
while
again.
I do love the fight, the music, again, the analysis, yeah.
Honestly,
gonna
you know what? I'm gonna change it to put it right above the Mega Man Battle Royale. It's the entire analysis and attitude that gives that
I
just.
I would,
You know,
I
we
wouldn't
really
put it
need
that low.
Foreshadow the Hedgehog, because I'm pretty sure everyone already said my points. You know,
Foreshadow the Hedgehog
about the analysis.
references.
Sonic, what were you
like a bunch
saying
of
on Sonic,
2000 references.
Sonic and RGS? What were you saying you wanted to put?
Below
let's go
Nearest
things like
Galactica.
I didn't.
The
You guys
wise-
were talking at the same time. One more time.
One at a time. So Ferret
Beerus-
first. Sorry, not
Beerus
Ferret.
behind
Sonic.
Beerus and Galaxia.
Again, I didn't catch that. You guys were
Behind
talking over
Beerus.
each other.
Behind Beerus.
Yeah.
For
And
fuck's
now-
sake.
I didn't hear that. What are you
In
saying?
between
Beerus.
Beerus and Galaxia and Batman and versus
I will
Spider-Man.
slap you, Ben.
Thank you, because you
What
guys
is
were
going on
talking
here?
over each other. You guys.
I'm gonna say
He
this
said
one
it
more
twice
time.
and nobody said a thing.
Ben, I'm gonna say this one
I
more
throw
time.
you.
He's saying put it below Beerus versus
I know.
Galaxia.
I know. Gizmo. I heard Gizmo.
Beerus
That's because someone else was talking.
Galaxia.
Guys,
I
okay,
know.
I'm
I
gonna
heard
take over
Gizmo.
now. I'm gonna take
I
over
throw
now. RGS, tell us where you want to, where you were putting it.
I agree with Gizmo's take. We're gonna put it above Mega Man Battle Royale.
That wasn't.
Okay.
I don't think that was Gizmo that said it.
No, I did say it. I said
Yeah,
I changed my
Gizmo.
vote
You
too.
did, you?
Gizmo
Okay.
changes rating. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with
Okay.
that as well.
Okay. All right.
I feel like that's too low.
I kind of feel like it
It's
is
like I
too,
said,
but
man,
honestly,
I love
feel
the
like we
fight
gotta.
and animation. It's just the
just
whole
don't- I
attitude
don't-
of it.
I don't really see that attitude. I just see
Yeah,
him
me
trying to
neither.
replicate classic Death Battle.
But I
and
guess-
I get
No,
why
that's
it
not a
wouldn't work
good
with
thing.
some
Can we
people.
not-
I just no.
we're just gonna go back in the
You're
loop
not
again.
listening.
I'm gonna go
Ben,
ahead and
not
take
listening.
over and say, hey, that I guess that means we're gonna put it. Well, I guess it's gonna be below Bucky O'Hare and Star Fox.
Yeah, like
Bucky,
the middle where the
Captain Bucky O'Hare. Sorry.
Yeah, right down the middle. Probably where I would have put it earlier on, but
All right.
So before we end this, let's give our thoughts on Frieza versus Megatron because I know some of you want to argue about it.
Okay, so we're gonna hang on.
People say,
Okay,
people
so
say
we're gonna
Frieza's
keep this.
gonna decimate, but the thing is that Transformers actually has quite a bit
Right,
going for it in terms of power scaling. So
That large-
Megatron could give Frieza quite the run for his money, even if Frieza were to win.
No,
So-
I don't buy it.
It's supposed to
I
be
think-
2 E's,
I
not an
don't
I.
buy it.
I'm gonna keep
If
this
you-
short.
I-
We gotta keep this short
I-
because we are at
Yes,
over an
can I get
hour
my
here.
take real quickly? Can I
No,
get my
you
take
can't.
real
I'm gonna
quickly?
say. I'm gonna say first,
Fuck
and then we're gonna keep it down to one sentence for everybody, and no run-on sentences. So my sentence
All right.
is going to be.
Yes, Mom.
My sentence is going to be unexpected, but certainly worthwhile. I think that it's just it's
This
a
is-
more even matchup than you think. So Gizmo,
It's a-
one
Yeah.
sentence
Wait, why not me?
because we're going left to right, and I
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
establish the
Okay.
rules.
Right.
Gizmo.
Gizmo, go.
Megatron gonna die, boy.
Okay, Jedi.
Very excited, looking forward to a great fight.
Ben.
A classic legacy matchup. Megatron may or may not scale to Optimus Jesus Christ Prime.
Ferret.
So why does Death Battle always seem to need to put Dragon Ball characters in a Death Battle right after a new form is made without any feats
Bad
to
timing.
go with it?
Bad timing.
Bad timing.
Every time.
That's
It's
just
just
what
RGS.
Battle
time.
loves.
RGS.
They
You never know what.
They did
Ferret,
it with
you-
It's
Goku
always
for
bad
Ferret,
timing.
you had your
Here's the thing,
sentence.
Let me,
No, Ferret, you had your
I will
sentence.
explain this. I will explain this very quickly.
No,
They plan these.
Huggies.
They play.
Okay, so Ferret, it's your turn. No, Ferret, it's not your turn anymore.
Ben,
Or
stop it.
Give him his turn
RGS.
again. He was asking for a
RGS,
legitimate
go ahead.
question.
I'm just gonna ask which Megatron. Yes.
okay,
All of them.
okay,
Yes.
so that's fair. I believe it's G1.
Michael Bay.
Could be IDW.
That's gonna be
Actually, if
weird.
it's amalgamation Megatron, this is gonna be really fucked up.
Yeah,
Yep.
so they did a
They're
combination
probably going
of
to compile
Optimus
a bunch
Prime.
of Megatron stuff while using the
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Super or
If they
anime and
wanna-
manga.
If they want to make this a little bit more
I mean,
interesting,
they have to-
they gotta have Megatron and the Decepticons versus Frieza and his Frieza
Frieza
soldiers.
Force, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
here's the
RGS,
thing.
RGS, no, guys, RGS has one sentence. Let him go.
Oh yeah, all right. So a full one sentence. Okay, if they're going the way I think they're gonna go, don't fuck Megatron over. Actually, give him a good fight.
Yeah, I
Good.
agree.
Mhm.
Sonic.
I'm just curious how they're gonna handle Frieza Black.
Assuming they do. Kevin.
Assuming
Oh, they
Assuming
will.
do,
They
but
definitely
they
will.
have to at this.
I
Assuming they
said
bring it up.
that essentially they're probably going to give like a amalgamation of Megatron stuff for him, and Frieza's only got like this Dragon Ball Super anime and manga.
Yeah.
Thing is, Megatron has actually,
Thumbs up.
worked his ass off for what he got, and Frieza basically had it handed to him on a silver platter.
Okay, that's actually fair
Seriously,
because Kevin was reiterating something that he said earlier. So yeah, this is probably not going to be as one-sided as people think. We are going to have to go now because we are at an hour and 10 minutes, and I wanted us to be wrapped up. I wanted to be wrapped.
Superman.
Yeah, I wanted us to be wrapped up 20, 30, 40 minutes ago, and you guys kept fucking talking. You remember how we said this was going to be a short video? Yeah.
No.
So we're going to go ahead and
You never win.
we're going to go ahead and stop, and we'll see you guys over on YouTube for Superman the Animated Series.
Our complaints lasted longer than the actual battle.
Send all of your complaints. I keep peeking my microphone out. Send all of your complaints to our comment section, please. What?
Send your complaints to KevinRidley@gmail.com.
That's not his address, but cool.